Mysterious lights once again appearing over the San Diego sky. Thanks so much for being here at 6 a.m. everyone. I'm Eric Connor.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Yes, take a close look here. So you're looking at video of these lights off the coast of Pacific Beach. So they kind of get brighter, a little dimmer, but they're just hovering in midair, it seems. So many of you called our newsroom last night asking what in the world are these? No official word yet, but many of you did see something similar back in June. You may remember that as more of a cluster of lights. Those turned out to be military flares. So we're making calls. We're going to check around, and we'll keep you posted on what we find out. Turning now to our other top story here this morning, the trial picks back up in the arson case of the Navy sailor accused of starting the fire that destroyed the USS Bonhomme Richard.
The trial comes more than 2 years since it happened. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol is live outside Naval Base San Diego, where the trial stands here. We're heading into day 2 here, Dana Marie.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, Eric and Netta. Yesterday, we heard witnesses for the prosecution. Those were sailors that were on the Bonhomme Richard the day of that fire. They gave us a timeline of what they believe happened. Now, one of the biggest takeaways is that Mays is still being charged with arson, but the way the government is now perceiving this is now as more of an accident rather than making him out to be a disgruntled Navy SEAL trainee dropout. Take a listen.
Their whole position was that Mays sabotaged the ship, he had cut hoses, that this was an intentional act because he hated the Navy so much that he decided to burn the Bonhomme Richard down.
Hey guys, just want to say I appreciate what you guys are doing. Thank you very much. No comment at this time.
Now, you just saw 22-year-old seaman recruit Ryan Mays walking out of the courthouse, and we heard from Gary Barthel, his former attorney during preliminary hearings, who say that Mays is innocent. Now, Mays is accused of using an accelerant to start the fire on the USS Bonhomme Richard in July of 2020. Inside of the courtroom, he sat quietly at a table next to his 3 military attorneys. Now, in opening statements, prosecutors started by saying, quote, "It was a mischievous act of defiance gone wrong. More like an accident and not the intentional sabotage they originally said." Yesterday, half a dozen men who were on board the ship testified about what they saw, heard, and smelled. One even choked back some emotion. Another said the fire was so hot his equipment stopped reading the temperature at 900 degrees and stopped working at 1100 degrees. Prosecutors say the fire burned for several days until ATF agents could assess the damage and determine it was arson. They say they have an eyewitness who saw Mays in the area where the fire started, even though he had no business being there. But Barthel, that former attorney, doesn't buy it. He says the Navy is using Mays as a scapegoat to deflect further negligence away from themselves. Now, the prosecution's star witness did not testify yesterday, but Mays will be back in court today for the second day of this trial. Of course, we're going to be closely following this as it develops. I'm Dana Marie McNichol, coming to you live from Naval Base Coronado.
Living in the city of San Diego could soon pay more for water. It's an important issue that the San Diego City Council will be reviewing here today. CBS 8's Chris Groh is live with a closer look at the plan here this morning. Chris?
Yeah, good morning, Eric. And there's a number of different reasons as to why, but for a lot of people hearing this news, they're just probably upset that things might get a little bit more expensive, no matter how little it may be. But let's go into the reason why this is happening. It's sort of a domino effect, if you will. This all starts with the San Diego County Water Authority. That's who the city of San Diego gets their water through. And the Water Authority has already voted and increased its rates by about 5% for treated water and nearly 4% for untreated water. In fact, back in July, we were letting you know that this upcoming vote would be happening, if you've been paying attention, because of the fact that the county increased its water rates. Now, the authority is blaming it on inflation and rising energy costs, but either way, it seems certain that the water rate is likely to go up here in the city by about 3%, though we are going to keep an eye on whatever that final percentage point will be, because we know how it could impact your monthly bills. Now, today's discussion and vote, all of that set to happen later on this afternoon. The City Council has a lot on their agenda today, but 2 p.m. is likely when we're going to see potentially that discussion get started, and then of course a vote later on in the day. So stay with CBS 8, especially on our website, cbs8.com, and our social media apps as we continue to follow this story, especially because we know how much it means to so many of you at home. Eric?
Chris Grow reporting live. Thank you, Chris. Many of us have seen beaches forced to close due to bacteria in the water. Well, a new study from San Diego State found the main culprit contaminating the San Diego River is a leaking sewer system, not homeless encampments or septic tanks. Bacteria in the river flows into the ocean and closes the beaches. Researchers hope this will encourage projects to improve the aging sewer system.
We do need to maintain our infrastructure if we want to have the high quality living we have here.
The closures in Coronado and Imperial Beach are unrelated and linked to sewage south of the border. And this morning, we expect to learn more about help for seniors experiencing homelessness. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria is set to announce the city is converting a hotel into a shelter. The mayor's office says this is the latest step in the city's commitment to getting people off the streets and onto a path to housing. Also today, the San Diego City Council will continue to discuss the homelessness crisis. Council members are expected to approve a state grant, and during a special meeting yesterday, the council passed an agreement for a new outreach program. Since last year, the city says they have increased shelter capacity by 28% and also connected more than 1,400 people to permanent or long-term housing in 2022.
And this morning, one person is dead after this 7.7 magnitude earthquake. This happened in Mexico. You see all the shaking here. It was yesterday in the Michoacan region. Some buildings right near the epicenter were damaged. A tsunami warning was issued, but that has since been revised. Coincidentally, deadly earthquakes also hit Mexico on the same date back in 2017 and 1985. This one mainly on the western coast, west of Mexico City, but people felt it throughout much of the country. And now this morning, the Turks and Caicos Islands getting hit by hurricane-like conditions at this hour. Fiona now strengthened to a Category 3 storm. I just checked the National Hurricane Center, and they do say this could become a Cat 4. Wind speeds right now 115 miles per hour. This hurricane is approaching Bermuda, likely by Friday. The same system hit Puerto Rico Sunday into yesterday and killed at least 2 people. Many are still without power or running water there. Today is also the 5th anniversary of Hurricane Maria, which Puerto Rico is still recovering from. Balboa Park's House of Puerto Rico getting ready to fundraise. They're trying to send help to the island. They're hoping to follow their plan from Hurricane Maria, and that's when they were able to raise more than $20,000 to get food, clothes, and medicine to people there. They're trying to get in touch with some nonprofits in Puerto Rico, but at this point, communication is tough, as you can imagine.
You know, once we get everything up and running, is to go in and donate from your heart, and you know that it's the right thing to do.
And if you would like to help, you can go to the House of Puerto Rico's website or stop by the cottage there in Balboa Park over this coming weekend. All right, let's check in with Evan now with a look at what's going on here. Hey, Evan.
Hey, good morning to you. Yeah, as you mentioned, right now Fiona's still continuing to churn just right now off of our eastern coast and headed towards about the Turks and Caicos area. Puerto Rico, several inches of rain. Wind was incredible out there. So we, of course, are still continuing to get pictures, videos, and information from Puerto Rico. Sadly, they have been through this before, so we are continuing to track Fiona. Again, right now, sustained winds at 115 miles an hour, moving northwest right now at 10 miles an hour, pretty standard speed there. And then you could see how its expected trajectory is going to be just off of our coast, pretty far off, however, and headed all the way up north before it breaks apart from there. So Turks and Caicos now next in line right there. Some low-lying islands that could be seeing several inches of precipitation and 115 mile per hour winds. Let's take a look at our local forecast here in San Diego. We have been dry. Yesterday we expected a few showers to pop up originally. That was about a week ago. However, this low pressure system that is off of our coast is bringing wet weather to Northern California, parts of Central California, none to Southern California. We are staying dry, and we did yesterday. We will continue to remain dry. However, this low is keeping our temperatures a bit cooler. So you may have noticed in the afternoon hours, I mean, we're mostly in the mid 60s out there, pretty comfortable. We're going to stay in that range. Afternoon highs are going to be in the 70s, a couple low 80s for your inland valleys. We're trending about 1 to 5 degrees cooler than average for this time of year. So in some cases, just very mild out there. A couple clouds that we've got out there across the coastline. Looks like Orange County dealing with quite a few. But for San Diego County, we're actually doing all right. So it should be a beautiful start to the morning out there. Get outside, enjoy your morning walk or run. Temperatures are very comfortable as we start off the day, mostly in the 50s and 60s out there. 57 right now in Escondido, 52 in Ramona. That 24-hour temperature change shows that we are mostly cooler than 24 hours ago. As far as traffic goes, things are quiet to start off the morning. Let's take a look at what the roads look like. So far, we have only seen one crash pop up. I want to take you to the downtown area. Right now, we know this was a 2-vehicle incident on the Hawthorne Street exit on the 5 northbound. So this is headed north from about the South Bay, moving up to downtown. Looks like 2 vehicles were involved. Both cars have been pushed over to the right-hand shoulder. No injuries involved in it. CHP working to clear it as we speak, and a tow truck on scene. So no major backups on there because it's been pushed over to the shoulder now. Back to you.